Call to order and roll call.
Chair Goss,
Present.
Commissioner McCoy,
Here.
Commissioner Sarkeesian,
Here.
Commissioner Sixta, Commissioner Noble is excused, Commissioner Waters and Vice Chair Swap are excused. We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome to the City of Kingman meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Our first order of business is the approval of minutes. This is the regular meeting minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission for February 12th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call vote?
Yes, Chair Goss,
Approve.
Commissioner McCoy,
Yes.
Commissioner Sarkeesian,
Approve.
and Commissioner Sixta.
Approved. Thank you. All right, next we have a call to the public for comments. Those wishing to address the commission should fill out request forms in advance. Comments to the public will be restricted to items not on the agenda, with the exception of those on the consent agenda. There will be no comments allowed that advertise for a particular person or group. Comments should be limited to no longer than 3 minutes. The commission may not respond to speakers during the call to public. The commission may direct the staff to study the matter or request that the matter be placed on a future agenda. So this section is for general comments. This is not for any of the items that we have coming up. So if anybody has any general comments, they can approach the podium. All right, I don't see any, so I'm going to close that. Now we're going to start on our action items for tonight. The first one is SB 22-0006. This is the Central Subdivision Tract 6054. A preliminary subdivision plat for Central Subdivision Tract 6054 to create 84 single-family residential lots on approximately 19.13 acres zoned residential single-family, 6,000 square feet minimum lot size. That's R16. The residential manufactured home, 6,000 square feet minimum lot size. That's RMH6, located north of Hualapai Mountain Road on west of Central Street. APN 321-11-115, 321-11-114. Applicant Civil Works Engineering LLC for CAJ Realty 4th LLC. Do we have a presentation from staff?
Commissioner Goss, just if I can, real quick, with respect to commissioners, and we did receive additional correspondence on this particular item that was received after the staff report was completed. Those items have been placed before each of the commissioners this evening for consideration.
Thank you, Jason.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners. I'm presenting case SB 22-006 for you this evening. Sorry. This is a preliminary plat for Central Subdivision Tract 6054. The subject site is located north of Hualapai Mountain Road and west of Central Street. As you can see from the aerial photo, the site is primarily surrounded by residential subdivisions of similar character to that of the proposal before you this evening. It is also in close proximity to Hualapai Elementary School and Kingman Fire Station number 4. The subject site contains 2 different zoning designations. The eastern portion of the site is zoned R16, which aligns with the zoning of the subdivision to the east. The western portion of the site is zoned RMH6, which aligns with the zoning of the subdivision to the west. The existing zoning designation seems to have generated a majority of the concerns posed by neighboring property owners. While the existing zoning of RMH6 would allow for the use of manufactured homes, it is not the developer's intent to allow for manufactured homes within the subdivision. The intent is to develop the lots with site-built single-family homes. Furthermore, a condition has been added to the plat that would restrict the placement of a manufactured home on lots that are less than 100 feet in length, which I believe would eliminate all but 4 lots from allowing that use. I believe it is also important to note that there are two adjacent subdivisions and a manufactured home park to the east with RMH6 zoning. There are several other zoning designations in the area, all of which are residential, including RR to the south and R18 to the north. The preliminary plat is comprised of approximately 19.13 acres to be subdivided into 84 lots and 5 parcels, including 5 street extensions and 2 new cul-de-sacs. The site was annexed into the city in 1982 by ordinance number 443 and zoned RR at the time. A rezone occurred in 2006 that designated the site, or a portion thereof, as R16. Review of historical zoning maps and other documents provided limited and potentially conflicting information regarding the current zoning of the site, but based on the city GIS zoning map, and the zoning appears to be both RMH6 and R16. As such, the project was designed and all noticing included the 2 zoning designations. Both zoning designations require a minimum of 6,000 square feet per lot, and the general plan 2040 designates the site as medium-density residential, which allows 3 to 8 dwelling units per acre. As proposed, the project results in a density of 4.6 dwelling units per acre. The preliminary plat is shown here with the access points highlighted in red. Overall, analysis of the proposal meets the development standards outlined in the zoning code and the subdivision ordinance. It falls in line with the goals and policies of the 2040 general plan. It facilitates and promotes residential development that is in harmony with the surrounding area. It facilitates development of adjacent roadways, which further improves the city's circulation network, and it will not be detrimental to the public interest, health, safety, convenience, or welfare of the city, and will add to the public good as described in the general plan. Staff has added 5 conditions of approval to this preliminary plat as outlined in the staff report, one of which prevents the placement of manufactured homes on lots less than 100 feet in length. Staff has received agency comments which were incorporated into the staff report, and project was noticed in accordance with state and local requirements. 6 emails have been received in opposition to this proposal, of which the primary concern was placement of manufactured homes on lots within the subdivision. 4 of the letters were included in your packets, and 2 additional emails were given to you here tonight. Staff has also received several phone inquiries and met with concerned residents at the counter. Based on the findings contained within the staff report and conditions of approval 1 through 5, SB 22-0006 should be recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission for approval by the Mayor and City Council. Any questions or comments?
I have one question, just to clarify. So they are allowed to put manufactured homes based on the zoning, but they don't intend to do so. Is that?
Correct, although there is, our RMH6 zoning would allow for that use, but there is a condition that's placed on the approval of this plat and on the plat itself that states that no manufactured homes would be allowed on lots that are less than 100 feet in length. And again, there's only 4 lots that would exceed 100 feet in length that are within the RMH6 zone portion, but I do not believe it's the developer's intent to
Okay,
place
so, and if
manufactured
we do
homes.
put that condition on them, then they are technically not allowed to then do so?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Chair Goss Commission, just to add to that, the only way that could be lifted if it does get imposed this evening, based on the conditions that have been written for this project, is they would have to come back and replat the project subject to a whole new public hearing.
Okay, awesome, thank you, Jason. Does anybody else have any questions for staff? No? I do. Sorry, we have one more question for you.
Question. So what's the average size of each lot or the length of each lot? 40 feet, 50 feet across, what is that? Per building site?
Most lots are just under 100 feet in length, and I do have information on
They're
the
about
average
97
sizes.
and a half feet.
97 and a half feet. So, and it's not the developer's intent to put any manufactured housing into this entire subdivision, correct?
Correct.
And if we tonight approve the subdivision with the caveat that no manufactured houses will be put in the subdivision, then that's the way it is, correct? Just so I'm clear. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you.
And I have one more. if
Oh,
I
okay.
might.
Mr. McCoy has a question also.
This parcel plat shows parcel E dedicated to the city of Kingman. Is that just basically open space, park space, or is it a drainage, or what is?
Those will function as retention basins.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, do we have any more questions? No? All right, I am going to open it up for public comment. Let me just throw a few things out there since there's so many of you guys in the room. First off is that we do have a 3-minute limit, and you're only allowed to come up to the podium and speak once. So make sure that when you do come up that you let us know all the things you have for us, because I can't call you up multiple times. Also, we do just have general rules of politeness that need to be followed. With this many people in the room, sometimes politeness goes out the window, but we do request that you guys remain polite and courteous. And if you do want to cheer for each other, I'm happy for you, but it keeps it so that we can't hear. So try to keep your applause for each other's comments to a minimum. So that being said, I'm going to call you up in the order of just the sheets that I have in front of me, just to keep it simple, and so that I can make any notes that I need to. And then if anyone wants to speak who hasn't turned one of these in, I will give that as an option at the end. Okay? All right, so first we have Donna Robles, and sorry if I ruin your name, but feel free to come up to the podium, tell us your name, and then you get 3 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson and Commission. My name is Donna Robles.
Please speak in the microphone. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Donna Robles. Good evening, Commission Board. Yeah, I'm concerned about this because the fact is, can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. We built our home over 2 decades ago. And we were assured that the area surrounding us would remain acre lots. Right now, little by little, it has dwindled down, and Central and Wallapai are very busy. Southern is very busy. I don't see any city improvements on the road at all, and I know we've been asking that for several years. And the fact that now they want to do it because they want to add more houses, well, this is going to impact trash. I was already told that our trash may go down to once a week instead of 2 times a week, and this is not going. This most definitely will impact it, and our infrastructure. So I don't see why we should have it. Why can't they go build in other places? There's down Stockton Hill. There's down Route 66. There's all kinds of other areas. Why do they have to start building in there? Then you have also the houses that they're trying to build right there on the corner of Central and Wallapai. So that's just, it's going to be a nightmare. I did not sign up for that. Like I said, we built our house over 2 decades ago, and we were assured that all that stuff we would not be getting a bunch of little houses built all around us. My property value is going to go down, and my husband and I worked hard for several years to build our home, and not to have it come down in price value because they want to add more stuff. I don't think Angle Home should be able to just go out and do all this stuff without consensus from citizens.
Thank you very much. All right, next I have George Magnera.
The only question that I had was, because I've heard statements to the effect that the builder had no intentions of putting mobile homes on any of the lots, even though that they were zoned for it. And I heard someone speaking about something about 100 feet, but I couldn't hear clearly what exactly they were saying. I guess as a secondary requirement on the mobile homes, could you?
We don't interact with the staff during the public hearing
Oh.
part.
So-
State your questions.
Oh,
and then they
okay.
can
So
answer.
here's what we're gonna do, just to keep it simple. When you guys come up, if you do have any questions, we note them down, and then Jason deals with a lot of them at the end. But you guys just come up and let us know your concerns, and then we will have somebody come back and address them.
Okay, well then
Okay.
let me rephrase my question. If I purchase a lot in this new development, and a year and a half down the road, I want to bring my mobile home from Parker up here and put it on that lot, what's to stop me?
Okay, so we will definitely, take that down, and then we'll have somebody respond back at the end, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you.
But if you have anything else you wanna let me know, you still have a few minutes left.
No,
Okay, thank you. Okay, next I have Gary Wetmore.
Good evening, council. I have a few questions. The one is, first one is the developer paving, improving Karen between Central and Indigo? Are they paying for that? And the next question is, I'd like to know what the easement is, the distance from Karen Avenue edge to the fence line on Courtney Avenue is where I live. And the third question is, a public report, is there a public report available for this subdivision? And fourth, is there going to be any two-story homes, or are they one-story homes? And that's my questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. All right, next I have, not sure, but maybe Mike Mannix? All right, let us know what your name is for real when you get up here.
I'm Mike McAvoy,
Okay,
and I've been in this city about 5 years, and I was in Lake Havasu before that. And when I came here, I was told by an Angle Home rep that that property was part of their homes. Well, obviously it's not. So I'm going to kind of stray from that. Our city always is complaining about the water. That's all I hear. When I was in Havasu for 10 years, that's all I heard was water. Mojave County has a water problem. This isn't doing anything for the water problem. So I'm going to switch to crime rate. Crime rate and I'm going to start with Havasu, is 18.95 per 1,000 residents. Bullhead City, 24.58 per 1,000 residents. Kingman, 46.91 per 1,000 residents. I feel that the police department needs to take care of all our problems with all the property damage and all the stuff that goes on around here. They can do it. If Havasu and Bullhead can do it, I think we can do it. As far as, I had a fire on my street, one of the garages. Officer was down, the police department, or the fire department was super. They got there, they got the garage fire out, and they had one of those cops standing around doing nothing. There wasn't a crowd control problem, there wasn't any problems. Yet he just stood there, and he's the same guy that happened to go next door of my house when I had a small claims lawsuit going, and the lady wouldn't shut her dogs up, and Carl had to make a new rule about barking dogs. But again, Chief Rusty Cooper never came back and shored things up with me, and it still goes on. The judge made her move a fence farther on the other side, and she doesn't do it. She just doesn't do it. She doesn't follow the law. Can I take her back for contempt? Yeah, but I'm tired of fighting with her. So I just feel that there should be a good follow-up with the crime in this city, and let's get the crime down before we add more people. And yes, I'm against the new housing. My question is, somebody gonna buy it because it's lower cost and then rent it out? We're gonna have a bunch of renters? People that buy their houses keep their houses much nicer. So that's all I've got for you, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, next I have Valerie Panagopoulos. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so yeah.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commission Board. My first concern is the surrounding properties being depreciated. My first concern is the surrounding properties and the depreciation. Is there going to be an HOA? Are there a number of these properties that are being set aside for low-income housing, which is again going to be a problem to depreciate everyone in the surrounding area? What is the price range of these homes? I'm pretty sure the prefab homes depreciate, but what is the depreciation rate of them? And again, how is that going to affect our stick-built houses? The intent is to not let mobile homes come in there, but that's a pretty vague statement. Because when somebody comes in and says they have the intent to not allow it, that's not black and white. That's not concrete. And then before you know it, we're going to have mobile homes in there anyway, and then it's for sure going to depreciate our values.
Can we just get you guys being a little bit more quiet out there? That way we can hear the person who's speaking. Thank you.
So should I repeat anything?
Nope, just your last sentence. maybe.
Okay, the last thing is that the intent to not have mobile homes come in there was pretty vague, in my opinion. And so before you know it, the intent goes where? Is it in black and white? Is it in concrete? Or pretty soon we're going to have the mobile homes come in there, and then our property values are going to depreciate anyway. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your guess? Henry? How about Henry? Harry? Elmanick? Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Harry Elenick. I live in 2390 Steamboat Drive, Kingman. And I just came to express my displeasure about the new development. What you want to put in here, manufactured houses, absolutely unacceptable. That is incongruous with the rest of the neighborhood. Will bring the property values down. Even small houses on small lots, 6,000 square foot lots is unacceptable because the vast majority of the property over there is 1/4 acre and above. I live on a half-acre lot myself. And what are you going to do? Angle's putting in somewhere close to 800 houses in that area in the next few years. All the traffic is going to dump out along Central, Yavapai, and probably Seneca going onto Wild Pine Mountain Road, which is narrower than my driveway. And what are we going to do about things like green space? You know, none of these projects have any green spaces. No, you know, they're knocking out all the desert natural habitat and just putting houses in there. It's not fair to anybody that lives in the area to put these, you know, these smaller houses in smaller lots, which, like I say, is incongruous for what the rest of the property owners have. Just not fair. Anyway, like I say, we got an issue. I really believe that the developers like Angle and whoever it is putting this project in should be responsible for improving the infrastructure, meaning the roads. You know, like I say, we put all these new houses in. Angle's doing 800, so we're looking at this new number, probably closer to 900, which will figure about somewhere close to 2,000 trips a day down those roads, which the roads absolutely can't handle that. So my request is make the developers, if they want to build, fix the roads while they're at it. Anyway, that's about my 2 cents worth, and I appreciate your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. I just want to tell you, you are a fabulous, fast, clear speaker. All right, next we have Marcy Chase.
Good evening. I'm Marcy Chase. I live on Cherry Avenue, so I'm super close, right across from where it's supposed to be built, in a dreaded Angle home. A few of my concerns, one is I hear manufactured home, but then I'm hearing, no, not really, if it's under a certain footage. I'd like to be very clear as far as what type of homes are going to be built on these lots. What are the different styles, the size? I believe it was Valerie that mentioned the similar, and I highly agree with what she said. What are we looking at? What type of models? What are these homes like? I come from Colorado. I moved here a couple years ago. We were in new construction as well. They brought Habitat for Humanity in a section and built right next to the new construction and a lot of the existing areas, and I can't even begin to tell you what it did. It destroyed the entire area. Destroyed it. My husband and I, as soon as we started reading what this was about, went into red alert. This is our first time attending a meeting like this because we've seen it before. So definitely have some concerns. When we came here to Kingman and decided to live here, the area that we looked at, and we looked at a lot of areas in Kingman, and one of the reasons we chose the area we did was because of the people and the homes and the upkeep. I don't want to live in Birdland. And I'm going to straight up tell you that. Okay? Birdland is a hellhole as far as I'm concerned. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And I certainly do not want to pay taxes, nor do I want to live next to it. That's why I picked where I picked to live. So I want to be very clear on what can go in there. If the builder changes their minds, what are they allowed to do? You know, once we, as a city, commit to this, and if I forget what my husband asked me to ask, I'll be in trouble, but he wants to know about, will there be added lights and stop signs for the additional amount of traffic to be expected? And I have 30 seconds left, and I'm going to say thank you very much for letting me speak. Have a good evening.
Great, thank you. All right, we have Lisa Picard.
Hi. I have a few things. Karen's going to go through. We have the Wallapai Elementary School right there. You cannot get through there when school is in session or out. Even though they put no parking signs, people park there. I had to call 911 for someone on my street. They could not get through because there was motorhomes, and I know there's a new law, but I don't know what's happening with that. And I myself had my house built there for a reason. I don't want to be around manufactured homes or that. And I want to know what they're going to do about Karen, because we already have people flying through the stop signs. They don't stop. And you can't even get a fire truck in there if people are on the sides of the street. So then we're going to have all these people coming through Karen, which they do now. So I want to make sure that, and I am totally against manufactured homes. I had my home built there for a reason, and not to be by manufactured homes. So I'm really upset. So I need reassurance, whatever, that those aren't going to happen, and that something's going to go on with Karen, because that is a danger for all those kids. They cross the street, there's no crosswalk down further, and people fly through the stop signs. So that's all I have. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to take the whole 3 minutes. So.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Bill Gillard. Maybe? What do you think? You think I said it close? Okay, maybe they left. Okay, so I have everybody that requested to speak. Does anybody else want to come up and address the commission?
Hey, Commissioner, this is Jed. Can you hear me?
Oh, sure.
Hey, how's it going? I'm sorry I couldn't be there. Yeah, so this is Jed. I'm the project engineer. I've heard everybody talking about the manufactured housing. The developer does not plan to do manufactured housing. That it's just zoned as manufactured housing. There's a lot of the subdivisions in that area that are zoned that way also. The size of the lot for the manufactured house is 6,000 square feet. It doesn't make any sense to put a manufactured home on a lot that's 6,000 square feet when you can put a stick-built house on the lot and make more money. I understand everybody's, saying that it's going to depreciate their home values, but there is no intent to create a subdivision with manufactured homes under this pre-plat. I sent you guys a letter kind of highlighting where the manufactured zoning is in relation to the subdivision. The manufactured zoning is where all the retention basins are for the most part. So you wouldn't actually be able to construct manufactured homes within the RMH zoning as far as the project goes. It wouldn't be, that's where the storm flows go for, runoff. There's 4 lots in the southwest corner that I think I highlight them on the letter that I sent you. There's 4 lots that are partially zoned RMH, and so half is RMH, half is R6. So you wouldn't be able to put a manufactured home on those lots either. In addition, like Amy stated, RMH zoning requires a 100-foot lot. There aren't any 100-foot lots. They're all like 99.5, 99.6, except for those 4 in the southwest corner. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or if we need to clarify anything, from the development side, but there is no intention. And under this pre-plat, it's like Jason said, if we wanted to do manufactured homes in this area, we would have to redraw and go through the review process again for a completely different subdivision. This subdivision is only for single family homes. So I'll leave it at that unless you guys have any questions for me.
Okay, thank you, Jed. Can you just hang on for a little bit until we do the commission discussion in case anyone has any questions for you there?
Yeah, I'm driving and I just got out of the mountains, so I think I'm good, but I may lose you.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right, does anybody else want to come up? Okay, how about we go with you because you're the only one on that side.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. I have one question. My name is Sarah Klein. I live on Amanda. I have one question for you guys, and that's it. If, as this gentleman said, the paperwork said, her presentation said, that there will be no intent for a manufactured home, why is the wording there? Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, whoever wants to come up next, you can.
Neil McDonald, and this is Angle Project 2? Angle Home Building this?
I'm pretty sure. No? Is it
Anybody know?
Canyon State?
This
That's what it
property is
is.
not, Commissioner.
Well, the last meeting I was to,
We should
Sorry.
probably
Angle
back out
Homes,
of a discussion.
once
just-
again, 6,000-foot lots.
So we can't actually talk to you, unfortunately. All the questions have to be saved till the end. But, so you can tell us what you have to tell us and
the
then.
6,000 square foot lots, if you want a pool, forget it. You can't get one in. And last meeting I was at, you said that, we want to get doctors and everything in here, business people. They don't want 6,000 square foot lots. They want bigger ones. And we were told also where we live, what was going to go somewhere, and that wasn't true. So you can't go on anything. You know what I mean? We're talking to you here, and it's like we're all wasting time. It's going to be approved. I know it, because I was one other meeting and saw it. But thanks for your time. That's it, I guess.
Thank you. Come on.
I'm Sandra Wetmore. I live adjacent to the property. In fact, the back of my house faces that property. Yeah, some of the issues I have is that Karen's already in deplorable condition. If you drive down Karen Avenue we have people driving on the dirt behind us all the time, so I'm kind of looking forward to it being improved. And it's also been used as a ATV motocross racetrack. And I've come to city council meetings before to complain about it because there's actual tracks back there. You can look on the GIS and you'll see it. But I would like to know who's improving Central, and because Central's not completely improved, it's only improved on one side. Karen's not improved at all. So I want to know who's improving Karen. Is it the developer or is it the city? And then I want to know how much easement is behind my block wall, because if you go down Karen Avenue where the school is, there's maybe 2 feet from the block wall and the road. So I want to know if that's going to continue 2 feet behind my block wall to the road. And the 6,000 square foot lots, no, I saw the planning and zoning map. I'm a real estate agent. There's no 6,000 square foot lots around there. Fripp's Ranch is 8,000 minimum to 10 to 12, and above us is half acre lots, 7,500 to 8,000 square foot lots. I don't know where the 6,000 square foot lots are, but we don't have any. That's all.
Thank you. Come on up.
My name's Don Fox. Hey, bad idea. This is a bad idea. I don't see anybody here clapping for 6,000 foot lots. This is ridiculous. I don't know where the hell this idea came up, but here's the thing. You guys are gonna you're gonna try to put houses in, wood siding. Wood siding takes 3 to 5 years to deteriorate, with the sun, weather. Stucco, maybe 5 to 10 years, but that's what we're talking about. 6,000 foot, it's unacceptable. So anyway, I'm just like 99.9% of the people here, bad idea.
Thank you. All right, any more? We've got a couple back there, and then we'll jump up to you next.
Hello. Hello, Commissioners. I'm Doug Litt from DTL Homes and DTL Enterprises.
My name's Annette Johansson. I'm one of the members of CAJ 4 LLC, which is helping to develop the land with.
So we're the developers. We're not Angle Homes, as the big mystery is. So, oh, sorry. We're the mystery developer builder. So our intention is fully to build single-family homes. We have no intention of putting mobile homes there. I mean, honestly.
So
Still can't hear.
Let me just tell
Okay.
you guys. So you can talk to us.
Yeah.
Register things in. You can't talk to them.
Oh,
So-
okay. I'm
so
talking to you.
Tell us what you have to tell us, and
Okay.
then yeah.
So, our intention up there is single-family homes. We've built about 200 homes in Kingman, and it's just us, Detail Homes and CAJ Realty. There's nobody else involved, mystery people.
No Angle Homes.
No Angle Homes. So that's it. We were just introducing ourselves.
Okay, great. If we have any questions for you guys, then we will
for sure
make sure that we address them to you.
Mhm.
Yep. Great, thank you. All right, you're next.
My name is Jack Goinetti. I live at 2369 Indigo Street, which is right on the corner of Karen. That open land out there, I don't know how many times it's changed hands. It'd be nice if they made property owners fence off their property, because we've got a freeway coming across that lot. In April of 2018, I had my house crashed into, somebody cutting across the field. So, $15,000 damage. Of course, we have we have insurance, but still. nothing but that corner, no stop signs. When I moved in late 17 at that home, there were 2 stop signs. One went away, and the other one went away. Now it's like people going around the corner like it's an Indy 500 or something, a NASCAR. We really, I'm not so much against single-family homes as I'm against manufactured homes. That will sink our value like in the toilet. The folks whose backyards face that field, the vehicles coming across that field, dumping dirt in their yard and they're gawking down in their backyards. If I were them, I'd say finish Karen out. Take it all the way to Central. But we don't need 4 streets going from, 5 streets going from Indigo to Central. 5 streets pouring onto our one, which is a halfly developed street. That's kind of ridiculous. But, I know it's all about money. It would be great if they can forget about money, fence that property off, and let folks walk their dogs and stuff like that. Have trails, walk, and everything. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, do we have any more comments from the public? All right, I don't see any, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the public hearing and I'm going to open it, or the public comment, and open it up for commission discussion. Before I do that, though, Carl, can we get, well, actually, let me go to Jason first. Jason, could you respond to some of these comments for us, just to give people a heads up on some of the things that you're doing from that perspective?
Commission, yes, I will. If I can defer to Carl, so he can give a little bit of background real quick. I'm going to pull up the presentation so I can utilize it for reference purposes.
Okay, thank you.
So while he's doing that, for those that don't know out in the audience, I'm the city attorney. I provide legal advice to the council and the boards and commissions. One thing we need to be clear about is what is a preliminary plat? What is the requirements of these commissions? What is the requirements of the council to move forward? The first thing we want to look at is currently this property already is zoned, the RMH6 and the R16. So those are zonings. What that means is the developer, the property owner, has the right to build in those conditions. So what they're doing, so they have the right to put in a mobile home if they want to, or a manufactured home. So what they're doing at this point is submitting a preliminary plat, which sets out what the layout of that subdivision is going to be. The role of the commission as well as the council is we are in what's called a ministerial act. So ministerial act means you're going to review these applications, and these applications are going to have certain requirements by statute, city code, zoning code, whatever, building codes, all in line. So if they meet these requirements, then the council doesn't have an option, the commission doesn't have an option. This is a ministerial duty. You need to approve this because they have the right to do these buildings. So what we're doing here is just trying to get what the layout is and say, knowing how we're going to move forward with that project, or how they're going to move forward with that project. So when we come here, the staff is going to do is review this application, make sure it's in compliance with all our codes and regulations. If so, that's what they're going to tell you. And then at that point, you will either approve it, which technically you have to do. If you were to deny it, you would have to come up with an explicit reason what violation of our code there is. Jason would be able to explain whether that's accurate or not. But ultimately, that's something that the staff have already reviewed. So I know some of these folks out here are going to say, yeah, you're going to approve it. If they're in compliance, you're going to approve it. So that's a short.
Just to clarify, Carl, so what you're saying is that if I don't want manufactured homes in that area, that is, I am legally not allowed
Correct.
To say you're not approved because I don't want that to happen.
Correct.
Because they have a right to do that.
They have a right to do that, but my understanding is through this application process, there will be a condition that there won't be any.
Correct. So my options would actually be things like taking it out that says that they couldn't have manufactured homes. Like, those would be options that were available to me, not telling them they weren't allowed to have it because
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Carl.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair Commission. So if I can, I want to go back. I put this slide back up specifically so we could actually demonstrate that part of this project site is already designated RMH6. So it would allow for mobile home park development or mobile homes to be developed on the project site as it stands today. As the applicant has indicated, only the very westerly portion of this project site would be subject to that zoning. The applicant has designed their subdivision tonight to actually have retention basins in that location, with the exception of 4 lots. With respect to the zoning itself, this zoning took place back in 2006. So this is not something that was coming before this commission or the city council in the last 10, 15 plus years. This was changed back in 2006. Prior to that, it was zoned RR, and that's when it came in from the county. I know there's been some discussion of property in regards to property values. I can't speak to property values. I can speak based on my historical experiences. When property gets developed, the properties adjacent to it typically don't go down in value. With respect to some of the other concerns, I think we've clearly addressed it. Manufactured homes are allowed as they are today. This applicant is not proposing a manufactured home type development. They are willing to accept the condition that be placed on the plat that would prohibit them from doing manufactured homes on this project site. Furthermore, should they ever decide to sell this project site, or should somebody else want to come in and develop this site, they would have to come back before a public hearing. And I can tell you, based on the zoning that's established on the project site, the manufactured home portion would be limited only to that very westerly portion of the project. So it wouldn't actually yield a manufactured home type subdivision. With respect to Karen, the applicant, as part of this subdivision, the applicant is proposing to improve Karen to its full street widths. They'll also be approving the streets within the subdivision and those adjoining it, with the exception of Whitehead to the south. With respect to just looking at schools, schools do their own siting. Schools also do their own on-site circulation and pickup. Local jurisdictions have very little discretionary review over how schools plot their land, as well as how they use it or where they put their pickups. I can tell you our Public Works and our Traffic Safety Committee does meet on a regular basis. We review the streets within the city of Kingman. We review the intersections, and as it's warranted, you'll end up seeing improvements such as stop signs or signals, but they only will come typically online once they're warranted, and that's based on a national traffic standard. I think we've addressed the fact that this is not an Engel Homes development. The 6,000 square foot is the lot size that is allowed by a minimum lot size. So again, as long as they're meeting the minimum lot area, they are in compliance with the city's zoning code. With respect to the types of homes, the single story versus 2-story, the architecture, that's actually not part of the purview this evening. This is only the subdivision. This is only to just subdivide and simply split the land to allow for future home development. I know there's some discussion about utilizing the land for other purposes, fence it off, use it for dog park, use it for, leave it as rural. Arizona is a property owner right state. They have the right to develop this property in accordance with the zoning, and that's what they're proposing to do this evening. There was quite a few that were duplicate comments. I think I've covered most of them. If the commission has any additional questions, I'm free to answer those.
Can you put the preliminary plat up for me, please? The big parcel there that's dedicated to the city of Kingman is a drainage parcel, is that correct?
That is correct. There's a total of 5 parcels being dedicated to the city of Kingman for drainage purposes. The larger one, which is just a little bit, right around an acre, if I remember correctly, is also dedicated. It's one of their larger drainage retention basins.
And once it becomes the property of the city's going to maintain it
That is correct.
better than the ones that they have now?
I can certainly speak to the fact that it is the direction that the city not maintain retention basins any longer. There is a upcoming ordinance that will be coming before the city council that will actually change that. But as it stands today, these would be dedicated to the city of Kingman. We would be maintaining them in accordance to the Public Works on how they currently maintain our basins.
So basically, they'll just be stone and that's about it? No landscaping or?
This developer would be required to, again, improve it, but improve it per today's standards. There's no additional standards beyond that would require them to do to utilize it for open space, recreational amenities, things of that nature.
Okay. And then one more question on Karen Avenue. You say the developer's supposed to improve it to full street width. I'm assuming that in curb gutter sidewalk, all that.
I believe that is the case, and I know Doug is here and Jed is still on the phone to confirm. We might have lost Jed.
Not there. And that's only across his frontage.
Karen will be fully improved, sidewalks, curb, gutter.
Okay. Only across his frontage, correct?
Well, it's the full 54-foot right-of-way width. It's a full street improvement. It's not just on his side.
But it would be across only his frontage. It wouldn't include the spot where Karen ends now and then a dirt road and then an improved portion again?
Karen will be improved between Central and Indigo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Jason, one question for you. There's 5 conditions that go with this. Can you pull up those conditions for us again? Okay, and then the one about manufactured homes.
So it's condition number 2 that the manufactured homes would only be permitted on lots in the RMH-6 designation that do not have a depth of at least 100 feet per the city's current zoning and subdivision.
And that's just those 4 lots that are
That's just the 4
down
lots,
at the bottom.
correct.
Okay, so when we approve them with these 5 conditions, that condition will make sure that manufactured homes don't go in there.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions?
One more.
Okay.
Is there a distinction between mobile homes, manufactured homes, prefab homes?
I think when Commissioner McCoy, when you look at manufactured home actually has a seal by the state. So it is actually a pre-manufactured engineered home that can be brought onto the site. Mobile homes have a very similar designation. They're utilized interchangeably. I think when you get into, is it a park model, travel trailer, tiny home, those are all differentiated differently. They're actually regulated as if they're a vehicle or a trailer.
Okay. So I'm assuming that most people believe that what might be allowed there would be the old mobile home instead of a manufactured home, would be my guess.
Commissioners.
It's hard to say what they're thinking, but that's my view.
Chair, Commissioner McCoy, I would concur. I think when you look at it, you think about the older, single wide type units. And again, this is not a proposal for this particular project site. Should they have elected to retain the mobile home designation and try to build a mobile home on just that portion, then you would be looking at, a double wide type, triple wide type manufactured home that resembles a stick frame home.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any further questions for Jason? No? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I am now going to open this up for commission discussion. If anybody has any questions during this portion for Carl, feel free to ask him as well. Or the builders, or anything else, or me.
I think it's been very clear that there will not be mobile homes or manufactured homes or any kind of prefab home built here in this subdivision at all, at any time, while these guys are doing their projects, so I'm clear. right?
Yes.
I just wanted to be crystal clear that there's not going to be any mobile homes, manufactured homes, or prefab homes built in this subdivision by this builder and developer.
Do you have a question for them, or you just want to make that comment?
I'm making that comment.
Okay. Gentlemen. All right. I guess I'm going to ask Annette Johansson to come up here one more time with her partner. Business partner, absolutely.
Her husband would kill me.
I make no relational connections at all. Okay, so I just wanted to double check with you guys after everything that you've heard here today. You don't intend to put manufactured homes, let people drive their RV trailers and plunk them down on the grass. None of these things are what you intend to build, and I guess with intention, you're allowed to build with this caveat on there. So that is correct, that you don't intend to do any of those things?
Yes, that's correct. We build single-family houses. We don't build haul-in mobile homes.
Okay, great. I just wanted to ask one more time.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Don't run off.
Oh, hold on. We have one more question for you guys.
You say DTL?
DTL Enterprises or DTL Homes.
You're building over off Fairfax, that little subdivision in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're building in there currently.
Okay. And it's a nice one, too.
In
by
La
the way.
Costa. Yes, that's where we're building currently.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any more questions for them? No? All right, thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, with that in mind, do you guys have a motion to make? If you do have a motion to make, I just want you to make sure that you include the 5 conditions that are up there in, if that's what you want to do.
I'll make a motion to approve SB 22-0006, Central Subdivision Tract 6054, with the attached conditions.
Great, thank you. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote?
Chair Goss,
Approve.
Commissioner McCoy,
Approved.
Commissioner Sarkeesian,
Approve.
Commissioner Sixta. It's been approved.
Great, thank you very much. And I wanted to say thank you to the people who came forward today. If you do have any further concerns, feel free to stay until after and we can discuss them with you then. All right, next we have Z025-0002. You know what, if people are gonna leave, that's fine. I'll just pause for a second while you do. All right, for the remaining people here, including my own cute little daughter there in the front.
Chair, we do have one more item to hear.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Z025-0002. This is a zone ordinance amendment, reduce front yard setback in the R-1-20 zone. This is a zone text amendment to the City of Kingman zoning code, section 3-20.030, residential development standards, and table 3-20.030A, development standards for R-1 and RR zones. Specifically, the amendment reduces the minimum required front yard setback for properties zoned R-1-20 from 30 feet to 20 feet. The applicant is the City of Kingman Development Services. And it looks like we have a presentation.
Is that working correctly, Ashley? Showing? Okay. Okay, there we go. Well, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Before you this evening is a proposed zoning code text amendment to update the front yard setbacks in residential zone R120 from 30 to 20 feet. This is zoning case ZO25-0002. In 2021, the current zoning code was adopted, at which time the front yard setback for zone R120 was changed from 20 to 30 feet. It is unknown if the consultant at the time made this change purposefully or if it was made in error. However, the change clearly did not consider the impact it would have on preliminary plats and other development proposals that were underway or already approved. At the request of the development community, staff researched this inconsistency, and at the January 7th council meeting, we received direction to bring back a city-initiated text amendment to revert this setback from 30 to 20 feet. We are here before you tonight to request your review of this amendment to the R120 zone front setbacks. Staff does recommend the text amendment be recommended to City Council for approval. The amendment before you this evening specifically amends this table, Table 3-20.030.A, in which a change of the front setback is the minimum, changes the minimum front setback from 30 to 20 feet. The proposed amendment allows the zoning code to better align with the needs of the development community. It provides consistency amongst properties zoned R120 and facilitates development that allows for additional rear yard amenities such as patio covers, detached garages, pools, and ADUs. A public notice for this meeting and proposed amendment was advertised on February 19th, and no comments from the public or other agencies and departments have been received. Staff does recommend, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval to the mayor and city council based on the findings in the staff report. And with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Does anybody have questions for staff?
One or two, maybe. The reasoning behind the original 30-foot setback, I believe, was because of the size of vehicles that are more commonplace in Kingman now than what they were when it was 20 feet. And so the typical F-150 or F-250 pickup truck today is about 19 feet, 4 inches long. If you have a 20-foot driveway, you have no room to the street other than the sidewalk. And sidewalks aren't required in R120, if I remember correctly.
I believe you are correct. Jason?
So by eliminating that 10 feet, you're creating another problem. 25 feet would be acceptable, probably. 20 feet, in my estimation, is nowhere near enough in half acre and above because of the vehicles. They park their travel trailers in the front yards and the driveways. You get these big F-250s, F-350s. It's just not going to work.
Thank you, sir.
And I don't know if the city has considered that or not, or if this is just a builder issue as opposed to a public issue.
Jason, I would defer to you on the history of that.
Commissioners, Chair, Commissioner McCoy, with respect to the setback, we looked at it from the standpoint of historically, it was the 30 or the 20 feet. It was erroneously changed with the 2021 adoption of the code. And is what it did is it actually affected quite a few plats that were already proposed and approved. And it put the position of the staff in a position where we had to actually start granting variances for each of those lots in order for them to proceed forward. So with that understanding, that explanation, without creating a lot of non-conforming lots with variances, we brought this back to the council to seek direction to go back to the 30 feet or to maintain 20. And so what we're bringing before you today is the direction that we received, which was to go ahead and reduce it back to the 20 feet, which was consistent with the original code prior to 2021.
Could you, moving forward or going forward on new plats, have a 25, 30-foot setback as opposed to the 20, and anything that's pre-platted remain the 20, and not create a paper problem?
Commissioners and Chair, with respect to the moving forward, the applicants have the ability to push their lots back. They can actually certainly increase that setback. It's just maintaining the 20-foot setback that affects the current pre-plats. And there are quite a few. We have legacy plats that go back to 2005 and prior to that would be affected as well.
So Jason, let me ask you a quick question. So in relation to this particular zone ordinance amendment, if we don't think that this is enough space, would it be a better call to change this one back to 20 the way it was before and then ask for, you guys to bring forward more information about setbacks? Or is this ordinance a good one to question whether or not it should be more of a setback?
Chair, Commissioners, I mean, we can certainly bring back a discussion for setbacks if that's what the commission wants. I can tell you from this perspective, utilizing zoning to regulate what kind of vehicle or size of vehicle was never the intent of zoning. The intent of zoning and setbacks was to allow for a varied streetscape. Again, having a minimum, being able to increase the setbacks, the developers have that opportunity. Certainly if you're purchasing a home and you're driving a vehicle of an F-350 size and you end up with a 20-foot setback, that may not be the most desirable for you. And the developers understand what that looks like more than from a staff perspective. Again, I think going back to what the intent of zoning is and the intent of setbacks, it is to create a varied setback.
Great,
and I
thank
could
you.
just point out that would be a violation to have a vehicle encroach into the sidewalk or into the street where Commissioner McCoy is talking about if it's too long. Again, that goes back to enforcement, which I understand that there's always questions about enforcement, but it would be a violation. So.
Great, thank you, Carl.
And I believe that setback is to the front of the house facing the street, where in some instances the garage is set back just a little bit. So in that case, it would fit, but if it's to the garage setback, it is an issue.
Thank you. Does anyone else have questions for staff? No? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, because this item requires a public hearing, I'm going to open it up for public comment. If anybody has a comment, if they want to come up and approach the podium and state their name, that would be great. But go ahead.
I don't know all this stuff, but
Just come up and state your name for us again.
Neil McDonald. But they keep talking to 6,000 square foot lot. Now, if you made them at least 8,000, you would have more room to put a bigger driveway in. But they want to squish everything so much. And there's so much land here, I don't understand it. And then last time I came, it was affordable housing. They want, Angle says we got to cut, no, don't get me wrong. I got an Angle home and I love it. And, do good for the community. They donated 200 grand to the new playhouse. So, you know, I don't have anything against Angle. We're just thinking, how much do you need? In Kingman Crossing, where they approve 6,000 foot lots. Say, when we moved in, they said, oh no, that was gonna be a Costco. So we're never ever told the truth, because they didn't know what it was anyways. But just say, we don't know. You know, I learned that years ago in the Marine Corps. If you don't know the answer, you say, I don't know, sir, or ma'am in your case. But this is what I mean, everything's squishing. How much more would it add to the house to make it an 8,000 square foot lot? I have a half acre. Honestly, too big. I don't want a pool back there. I don't want to take care of a yard, but that's what we got, and it's nice. The whole neighborhood loves it. We all have quarter-acre lots. But shrinking it to 6,000, that's all I'm hearing. Earlier, whoever doing these homes, the Angle homes, and Kingman Crossing, up the Wallapai. Last time I was here, they said, oh, the Wallapai, one of these up here, the Wallapai was a jewel of Kingman. Now you want to put 6,000 foot lots? If it's a jewel, it's where people want to go that have money. And plenty of people want to come here that have money. They come from California, pay cash for a house. They don't care. They want a bigger yard. They want to put their pools in. So to me, you know, you want a little bit bigger, like you said, the Ford trucks and that, all your trucks. I don't have a truck. I don't care. But setting it back 25 foot, even 30. Like you say, put the garage behind the house a little bit, or make the lots a little bit bigger. That's, I mean, to me, it's just common sense. But as soon as you start squishing, and then another thing I haven't heard about, all these lots you're approving, where's the schools? I mean, we have a school near us, and I can't believe the traffic in the morning, coming and going in the afternoon. And I'm thinking, there's no more room in the schools. Before we can get more families in, we need at least another school. And then as far, like I say, affordable housing before. Now, I know New Kingman isn't Kingman. But have you gone out there and see how many houses are being built by Angle? I think it's, I don't want to say Champion, something like that. They're building them like crazy. And they're all affordable housing. That must mean I'm done, huh? At least you didn't shoot me. But anyhow, you know, look at that, and the Eastern Avenue thing they just did, housing going right in there, the old one-way streets. There's a dozen houses going, some of them have one-car garage. But that's affordable housing.
Thank you. All right, do we have any more comments? All right, I see none. All right, I'm going to close the public comment section then and open it up for commission discussion.
Well, you know where I stand on the issue, so
Yes.
I don't favor 20 feet. I would go 25. I prefer the 30, but
Jason, can I ask you a quick question? So this text amendment is going to put things from 30 feet back to 20 feet for the R1, RR zones. Is that significantly smaller or larger than other zones?
Chair, Commissioners, so this would impact the R120 designation. Currently, it's at 30 feet. 30 feet is the same for a 1 acre lot or greater. If you go down to an R10, an R8 lot, those are all 20 feet. So this would be consistent with an 8,000 square foot lot, a 10,000 square foot lot. And if approved this evening, it would apply to the 20,000 square foot or half acre lots. Once you get above the half acre, those are 30-foot setbacks.
Great, thank you. All right, what do you guys think? So it's basically putting these guys a little bit underneath the acre lots.
this is for half acres,
Mm-hmm.
R120.
Yep.
And because of the size of vehicles and the size of travel trailers and things, I honestly don't believe 20 feet's enough from the garage.
Well, I don't think we can probably request that they put the garage back
can't.
further than the house.
We can't.
What do you think?
I think we ought to approve it. Is that your motion?
I can make a motion that we approve ZO 25-0002. Zone ordinance amendment. Reduce the front yard setback to R120.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Can I get a roll call vote?
Chair Goss,
I will approve.
Commissioner McCoy,
Deny.
Commissioner Sarkeesian,
Approve.
Commissioner Sixta.
I approve.
I think that approved.
Great, thank you very much. All right, do we have any further reports from staff on anything?
Chair Goss, Commissioners, I just wanted to take a moment to let the public know, as well as the commissioners, if there's any recommendations or thoughts or so forth. But the city does have an open enrollment for our Citizen Academy. So for those that may be interested, those from the public, those that are listening, that enrollment goes through, I believe it is March 13th, so the end of this week, actually tomorrow is when it cuts off. And the Citizen Academy will run March 26th through May 7th. It's a series of sessions in which the citizens kind of group together and they come and shadow each of the departments, and they get an understanding about how our budget cycles work, how our finance department works, our fire department, police department, development services, such as this evening, dealing with everything from ground up building to the zoning and the subdivisions that take place prior to. So for those that may have an interest in that and understanding really how the insides of the city operates on a daily basis, it's a great opportunity to get that insight. So wanted to make that announcement to the commission, but also to the public. So if anyone's interested, you can obtain that application through the city clerk's office.
And question, Jason, is there an age range that is designated for? Is it adults? It's all adult? Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's okay. All right, and then the next thing on the agenda, I just have to put out there, is there any announcements from commission members on anything? No? All right, great. Then I will motion to adjourn.